A false friend and a shadow attend only while the sun shines. A good conscience is a continual Christmas. A good example is the best sermon. A life of leisure and a life of laziness are two different things. A penny saved is a penny earned. A place for everything, everything in its place. A small leak will sink a great ship. A true friend is the best possession. A true investment is an investment in yourself. A wise man learns more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. An empty bag cannot stand upright. An empty purse and a new house make a man wise, but too late. An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. An investment in your education is an investment in your future. An investment in yourself always pays the best interest. An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better person. Be civil to all, sociable to many, familiar with few, friend to one, enemy to none. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few. Be slow in choosing a friend, slower in changing. Be slow in making a promise, but quick to fulfill it. Be slow to promise and quick to perform. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Better slip with the foot than with the tongue. Better to go to bed hungry than to wake up in debt. Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Content makes poor men rich. Discontent makes rich men poor. Diligence is the mother of good luck. Do good to your friends to keep them, to your enemies to win them. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Do not fear mistakes. You will know failure. Continue to reach out. Do not squander time, for that's the stuff life is made of. Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Don't throw stones at your neighbors if your own windows are glass. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Employ your time well if you mean to gain leisure. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Experience keeps a dear school, but fools will learn in no other. Fish and visitors stink in 3 days. Genius without education is like silver in the mine. God helps those who help themselves. Guests, like fish, begin to smell after 3 days. Happiness consists more in small conveniences or pleasures that occur every day than in great pieces of good fortune that happen but seldom. He that can have patience can have what he will. He that can take rest is greater than he that can take cities. He that falls in love with himself will have no rivals. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. He that is of the opinion that money will do everything may well be suspected of doing everything for money. He that lives upon hope will die fasting. He that speaks much is much mistaken. He that waits upon fortune is never sure of a dinner. He that won't be counseled can't be helped. He that would live in peace and at ease must not speak all he knows nor judge all he sees. Hide not your talents. They for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? Honesty is the best policy, especially when you have to convince someone else of it. I didn't fail the test, I just found 100 ways to do it wrong. If passion drives you, let reason hold the reins. If you desire many things will seem but a few. If you would keep your secret from an enemy, tell it not to a friend. If you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead and rotten, either write things worth reading or do things worth writing. In this world, Nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. Instead of cursing the darkness, light a candle. It is better to take many small steps in the right direction than to make a great leap forward only to stumble backward. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. It is easier to suppress the first desire than to satisfy all that follow it. It is the working man who is the happy man. It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad one to lose it. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterward. Learning is not attained by chance, it must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Little strokes fell great oaks. Lost time is never found again. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. Many people die at 25 and aren't buried until they are 75. Necessity never made a good bargain. Never confuse motion with action. Never give up. Those who succeed in life are the ones who keep trying. Never leave that till tomorrow which you can do today. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. Never trouble another for what you can do yourself. Remember not only to say the right thing in the right place, but far more difficult still, to leave unsaid the wrong thing at the tempting moment. Remember that credit is money. Speak little, do much. Strive to be first, first to nod, first to smile, first to compliment, and first to forgive. Success has ruined many a man. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Take time for all things, great haste makes great waste. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. The best sermon is preached by the minister who has a sermon to preach and not by the man who has to preach a sermon. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The best way to predict your future is to create it. The best way to see faith is to shut the eye of reason. The discontented man finds no easy chair. The doors of wisdom are never shut. The doorstep to the temple of wisdom is a knowledge of our own ignorance. The first mistake in public business is the going into it. The greatest enemy to progress is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. The harder I work, the luckier I get. The heart of a fool is in his mouth, but the mouth of a wise man is in his heart. The key to wisdom is knowing all the right questions. The noblest question in the world is, what good may I do in it? The only indispensable ingredient of true friendship is time. The only thing more expensive than education is ignorance. The only way to be loved is to be lovable. The secret of success is constancy of purpose. The son never repents of the good he does, nor does he ever demand a recompense. The U.S. Constitution doesn't guarantee happiness, only the pursuit of it. You have to catch up with it yourself. The way to wealth is as plain as the way to market. The worst wheel of a cart makes the most noise. There are no gains without pains. There are 3 faithful friends, an old wife, an old dog, and ready money. There are 2 ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. There is much difference between imitating a good man and counterfeiting him. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Those who govern, having much business on their hands, do not generally like to take the trouble of considering and carrying into execution new projects. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. To bear other people's afflictions, everyone has courage and enough to spare. To find out a girl's faults, praise her to her girlfriends. To find yourself, think for yourself. To follow by faith alone is to follow blindly. To lengthen thy life, lessen thy meals. To succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. To succeed, one must have the appearance of success. To succeed, we must first believe that we can. To succeed, you must first be willing to fail. Trouble springs from idleness, and grievous toil from needless ease. We must all hang together, or assuredly we shall all hang separately. Wealth is not his that has it, but his that enjoys it. Well done is better than well said. When in doubt, don't. When you're finished changing, you're finished. When you're good to others, you're best to yourself. Who is rich? He that rejoices in his portion. Who is strong? He that can conquer his bad habits. Who is wise? He that learns from everyone. Who is powerful? He that governs his passions. Who is that? Nobody. Wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy. Wise men don't need advice. Fools won't take it. Wish not so much to live long as to live well. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. Work as if you were to live 100 years, pray as if you were to die tomorrow. You may delay, but time will not. Your net worth to the world is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones.